Time for lab number 2 and some light and fluffy pancakes. First of all, you got to get all your materials together. When you start this one out, you're going to need 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You need to measure those separately, so measure up your 1 cup, use your leveler, and hey, I did find one in my kitchen, and level off your first cup of flour. Then, once that's in the bowl, get rid of your 1 cup measure, get a 1/4 cup measure, scoop up your 1/4 cup of flour, level it off with the same leveler, and then pour that right into the bowl. You want to make sure you have your 1 1/4 cups because if you're short on that, you won't have enough for your pancakes. Up next is the sugar. You need 1 1/2 tablespoons of sugar. So you need to get a 1 tablespoon measure, scoop and level that one off, add it to your bowl, and then get a 1/2 tablespoon measure, scoop that up as well and level it. And I noticed here I didn't have quite a full spoonful, so I dropped it back in, scooped it up again, and leveled it. Then it's on to your baking powder. The baking powder is what makes your pancakes get fluffy. It makes them rise. So you want to make sure that you put that in. It's 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and be sure that you level it. 1/4 teaspoon of salt goes in the bowl next. I always measure mine over the sink, and the little pour spout on the side is how you pour that out. Don't rip the box top. Then grab a whisk or a wooden spoon and give it a stir. Because this batter is kind of liquidy, you can use a whisk for this one, and it's probably the only time I'll tell you to use a whisk. You're going to measure up your liquid next. You want to get 1 cup of milk in a measuring cup. And then once you've got your milk poured up, you're going to need to add 2 tablespoons of canola oil. Make sure you measure those carefully. Don't spill it. And then after that, you're going to want 2 tablespoons of water. Mix all of your liquids together. You can see my whisk was too big for my measuring cup, so I laid that aside and I grabbed a wooden spoon, stirred my liquids together, and then I'm going to pour those right into my dry ingredients. Then I'm going to use my whisk to mix everything together. And when you start to stir, you'll notice that a lot of dry powder sticks in the whisk. As you go, that'll break down into your batter, and you can just kind of tap your whisk on the side of the bowl to make sure everything's out of it. And that's your pancake batter ready to go. Now you want to get your frying pan out, get it heated up on about medium temperature, spray your cooking spray lightly into the pan, and you can start adding your batter. Use a 1/4 cup measuring scoop, scoop up your batter. I usually scrape the bottom of the scoop off on the edge of the bowl so it doesn't drip, and pour it into your pan. You can usually get about 3 pancakes in the frying pan at a time without them being too squat together. Up until now, we've left all the pancakes plain because this is where you add your toppings. You actually don't mix them into the batter in the bowl. You sprinkle them into the individual pancakes. That keeps them distributed evenly so everyone gets a fair share of the toppings. Plus, everybody can have the toppings they like. My first 2 are blueberry. That last one is chocolate chip. And we're going to let them cook in the pan on medium temperature until there are air bubbles that are forming and popping little holes in your pancakes. Then you want to flip them over, and the backside should be golden brown. If it wasn't golden brown, you flipped them over too early, and it could get a little bit kind of sticky or messy in the pan. You want to cook them until they're golden brown on the other side. Here's what they'll look like when both sides have been cooked. You can see that the berries and the chocolate have kind of cooked into the pan a bit. Then take them out, put them on a plate, add another little spray of cooking spray, and load up your pan with another couple of pancakes. You should get a total of 8 pancakes out of this recipe if you have used a 1/4 cup measuring cup to portion them out into the pan. This means you just keep making batch after batch of pancakes until everybody's got the pancakes they want with the toppings that they like. Happy cooking, Cardinals!